Well, what is the goal for Ukraine?
Get back to normal. We
Get
didn't
back to
really touch
normal?
anyone. We didn't really want anything. So, well, ideal option, of course, is gonna get back all our territories, including Crimea.
Right.
But uh, this is the goal, and I think it always will be. And I think if it would be any like realistically speaking, like way of getting the peace with agreement, they would already get it over this long period of time. Because I think no one really said what conditions were like suggested by Russian or by Ukrainians, because you don't have the publicly like cited the conversation
Right.
of the leaders. But at the same time, I think if there was be any like possible way of ending the war with an agreement, the countries would already like sign it for it. Because like I don't think that, and I'm not ready to like give up our territory for what, for like for it to like happen again in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is this is the goal.
Yeah.
Get back our territories back and grow our economy to the level it was before. Because as I mentioned, like exchange rates, for example, before Crimea and the Donetsk like war, it was like, for example, dollar exchange rate was around like 8. Then
Yeah.
it was 16. Now it's 40.
Wow.
Like comparisons to pounds is like Ukrainian hryvnia is like around like 1 to 50,
Mm.
which is like huge.
In terms of this is where there's a disconnect, right, between people who are from Ukraine who like have an emotional connection to the country and people like who are just kind of looking at it from a distance and saying, okay, where is the war now? What is the territory gains? What's the possibility of, our heart is not in it in the same way that your heart is in it. Um, but you hear most commentators and they say, well, the only way for this to end is some kind of off ramp where like fighting stops, Russia takes the Donbass, you know, the rest of Ukraine joins NATO, um, and the Russia pays a certain amount to Ukraine to help rebuild like Mariupol and the other cities. What to you would be the realistic? I don't know. This is so hard because again, for you, right? You don't want to lose any territory. You don't want to give up defeat. But well, okay. Is there any way that you would be okay with this ending without regaining the territory that you've lost, or all the territory that you've lost?
I think, well, I truly think that I'm not really the one to judge on like the best possible outcome or like the comfortable outcome, because I don't have the right to judge on that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a citizen. I'm not the politician. I'm not the leader to like judge on what's going to be best for us long term. Because there is drawbacks and flaws and advantages of all the outcomes we can have a look on.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we like even if the war stops tomorrow, there will be a lot of disbalance yet, and
Mm-hmm.
it would take ages to not only rebuild but like economically stabilize Ukraine. But at the same time, even if it would be fully like protected by NATO, it's also controversial because like they could have like closed the sky over Ukraine a long while ago already, so we would
Mm-hmm.
not have the like missiles over Ukraine to
Yeah.
this day. So unfortunately, I think in this world you can only like rely on yourself fully and
Yeah.
like hope for the best for support from external
Mm-hmm.
forces. So I cannot answer on the outcome what would be satisfying for me to like end the war with, because it's from the first point there is no like satisfying outcome already.
Yeah.
And best outcome, I don't really know. I think those who are in like the most suffered regions, they just want it to end and they don't really care how already. But I think there will be consequences even if it ends tomorrow with our territories back or without.
Mm. Yeah, I know that's obviously not an easy question, and there's no right or wrong answer to it. But I appreciate you putting up with putting up with me.
I'm just trying to, yeah.
Um,